like one of the more, I guess, unusual bits of news that we've gotten. Now we do have a little bit more context as to what happened, but initially, I think it was it was like either yesterday or maybe like 2 days ago that the district attorney the district attorney of New York dropped a bombshell indictment against Joe Lewis, who is a British billionaire that owns Tottenham. So that's the only reason why I'm covering this. I mean, there's some other like high profile stuff going on. Somebody else I'm sure will be more informed on that. But basically, for us, and people that follow football and sports in general, this is pretty big news. So Joe Lewis has been charged with insider trading in the U.S. So what's insider trading? Insider trading is basically trading off of information regarding the valuation of a company to like somebody that wouldn't otherwise know, um, and giving them that information. Usually, there's like some sort of like if a company's gonna go public, like that's really big news. I've been in companies that were about to go public, and they, I think they make you sign. I mean, there's like confidentiality stuff like that either usually you sign or the company kind of swears you to. If I think a lot of the times for like drug companies, there's like clinical trials. If they're successful, the reason why, again, we don't have to get into it too much, but the reason why a lot of senators and people that work in government can make successful trades is because they're privy to that information. Like if a company's going to get government contracts, that's usually very that's going to be very good for the company, and so that affects their valuation. Well, there's a better article, but I just wanted to see here. But basically, he passed inside information from companies in which he has a large investor to friends, including his personal pilots, assistants, and romantic partners. And I think I saw one of them was like, I think he was doing that in lieu of pay, like he would let them borrow money. Again, we're gonna see the article. This is all alleged, so I'm not saying that he did it. This is all alleged, but that is what he was pretty much indicted for. And that's what the district attorney said. In 2019, members of Australian Agricultural Board of Directors told Lewis the company had suffered material losses following widespread flooding. Lewis called his two pilots and told them to sell their stocks in the company immediately. So again, that's using privileged information that he's privy to, because he has, I think he runs an equity firm, so basically investment funding and all that. So he has that privileged information, and he's giving it to close associates, and again, in this case, selling. In other cases, it could be buying stock. So using that privileged information to beat the market, essentially. And if there's one thing that rich people don't like, is when other rich people kind of cheat to get the money, basically. But let's see here. We'll continue on. In 2019, he told his girlfriend in South Korea to purchase shares of Solid Biosciences after learning about an upcoming private investment and clinical trial. Girlfriend paid $700,000 to purchase 150,000 shares. She sold the shares and made, $849,000 in profit. That's crazy. He told two personal assistants working aboard his 322-foot super yacht Aviva to invest in special purpose acquisitions company. He said the stock could double or triple or even quadruple. It did. These are all very unusual moves, and federal prosecutors have alleged more than a dozen charges, including securities fraud. So again, I did also pull up the exact. I thought there was a exact definition, maybe not. But basically, yeah, that's what insider trading is Okay, let me see here. There's like a just like dictionary definition, like we're in middle school. The illegal practice of trading on the stocks exchange to one's own advantage through having access to confidential information. And so that's obviously what the key is the confidential information. Reuters also did an article. I think it's going to detail similar things. But let's take a quick peek here. British billionaire Joe Lewis pleads not guilty to U.S. insider trading charges. The British billionaire pleaded not guilty on Wednesday to orchestrating what prosecutors called brazen insider trading schemes by passing tips about companies in which he invested to friends, private pilots, and a former girlfriend, which I'm assuming is the girlfriend that was in, it was South Korea, was it? Something like that? Yeah, South Korea. Lewis, who's 86, who's already a billionaire. So it does kind of make you wonder, but okay, that's fine. We're just going over the details right now. 86, whose family trust controls a majority of the Tottenham Hotspur soccer team. So this is a very American article, as if you can't tell. Entered his plea before U.S. Magistrate Judge Valerie Figueredo in Manhattan Federal Court. Yeah, so it was in New York. Prosecutors would be released on $300 million bond secured by his yacht named Aviva and the private aircraft. Damn, that's crazy. Okay. I mean, there's levels to this shit. Obviously, he's on the highest end of this. Two of the pilots, Patrick Connor and Brian Wong, are also pleaded not guilty to related insider trading charges. So I think they were actually arrested as well. Their bail was set at $250K each. Lewis founded the investment firm Tavistock Group and is worth $6.1 billion. According to Forbes magazine, he wore a gray suit to his arraignment and was not handcuffed. Yeah. We'll just leave that there. Said in a statement, prosecutors made an egregious error in bringing charges and said his client had traveled to the U.S. voluntarily to defend himself against the charges. Lawyers for the two pilots declined to comment after the hearing. Tottenham also said this legal matter is unconnected to the club and as such have no comment. All right. Prosecutors say that in 2019, Lewis lent each pilot, damn, that's crazy, bro, $500,000 and encouraged them to buy. I mean, that's crazy. I don't know if it gets into like, you know what? Let's not like. Okay, tell me what you think. Does this get into like market manipulation? Like he's just letting them borrow money, telling them what stocks to buy. He's encouraging them. I mean, there's no encouragement. If this guy lends you $500K and tells you, hey, buy this stock, you're not going to be like, thanks, bro. I got it. Don't worry. You're going to buy the stock. Anyway, oncology company Mirati Therapeutics, before it's released favorable clinical results, O'Connor texted a friend he thought the boss has inside info. Ooh. Those are like the key markers to, I mean, no, it's in there. Insider trading. He's saying he has inside info. Not ideal. After Mirati announced the positive results, the share price increased 16.7% in one day, and both pilots repaid Lewis for his loan. Damn. In rewiring the payment, oh no. Watt indicated the money was a loan payback for MRTX. I mean, these guys are doing the equivalent of like, again, this is what it looks like. They're doing the equivalent of like Venmoing, like not drugs, wink, wink, or like even saying drug. I mean, like this, it's so obvious what. They're not making it very difficult for the prosecutors. Let's just say that. And I think he's been under investigation since like 2013, I think it was. So that it's been a while. I think let's see if it says it somewhere, but I think I did see somewhere that he's been in investigation for a bit. And I'm sure these cases, these like white collar crimes, are kind of just difficult um, to charge with. They're very like subjective. They're very, they blur the line of what inside activity, like insider trading, is versus just like, you know, having an information or having a hunch or, saying, I think that the clinical trial will go well, so I'm going to invest beforehand. So obviously that's what makes these kind of things very difficult, and it does take a lot of time. Anyway, Lewis was charged with 16 counts of securities fraud and 3 counts of conspiracy for alleged crimes spanning from, 2013 to 2021, and could theoretically face decades in prison. Now, he is a billionaire, and let's just keep it 100. I doubt that this is going to happen. I doubt he's going to do that. I think the only one that was memorable to me as well was like the very famous Martha Stewart. And I think she ended up spending, I don't remember what she was sentenced for. I think I looked it up. I think she ended up spending like 5 months in prison, which, hey, Martha's a G, dude. She did her time, bro. Anyway, none of this was necessary. Damian Williams, the U.S. attorney in Manhattan. Joe Lewis is a wealthy man. Oh, the video. The video. When he dropped the indictment. Insider trading has long been a focus of Williams' office, dating to 2009, when a crackdown began under one of his predecessors. Yada, yada. Separately, Wednesday filed a civil insider trading case against Lewis, O'Connor Wog, and his former girlfriend. The SEC said Lewis learned in 2018 that a biotech company he invested in would raise capital through a private investment in public equity, a transaction that tends to raise a company's share price. So again, despite being bound by a that's what I'm saying. Like normally when these groups do those types of things, they make you sign those types of agreements, confidentiality agreements, and then, if you're part of the company, they would look back at your emails and shit like that if you're leaking that information. Anyway, Lewis allegedly told Carter 33 about the transaction in a luxury hotel room in South Korea they were staying at. Carter bought shares in the company, which we did see. When insiders like Lewis take advantage of their access, it erodes public trust and confidence in fair and efficient operations of the markets. So once again, the U.S. is kind of just taking charge here. You normally don't see this, and I think, again, that's why it took so long to see any sort of movement on Joe Lewis and bringing the charges. Apparently, they had been kind of investigating since 2013. Like I said, I think those pilots just kind of hit the right notes in their communications with them. I think the repayment of the loans, which, again, loans necessarily wouldn't be illegal. He's a rich man. He can do whatever he wants with his money. But here's the actual question. Does this affect, or does this put in jeopardy his ownership of Tottenham? Because I think it has been speculated that, with all this revamp of the stadium and them trying to hold on to Harry Kane, I think they were going to try to sell the team with Harry Kane staying on as like a desirable asset. Obviously, they have the new stadium. They're a team in London, which is always, it's got eyes on it. It's a London club. And so I think the thinking was that, like, does this maybe make a sale? Does this affect Harry Kane at all? And them wanting to sell that asset, basically, not that human beings are assets, but in terms of product that's being created, which at kind of the end of the day, Tottenham, all football clubs are kind of a product. So I was just curious, but again, it was just an interesting story because Tottenham obviously are a big team, and their owner, again, is it had been indicted, potentially looking at um, penalties, jail time, whatever the case might be. There's still a long way to go. I mean, even the trials take a long time, so I doubt we would see anything right away. But we'll see how it goes. There's some turmoil at Tottenham, and let's see what Joe Lewis decides to do. I think he's always been an owner that's been in the background a lot. It has been mostly like Daniel Levy that basically is like the face of that project, the team, really, all the negotiations and everything. And Joe Lewis has really, really been, from what I've seen, a silent owner. There's a lot of owners out there that, at least you kind of know. I honestly, I just thought Daniel Levy was the owner. I was like, oh, he's like a fucking Jerry Jones type of guy where he's the owner and he wants to think of himself the general manager. Out dead wrong, obviously, and I think Tottenham had been kind of running from being a solid team, and so I was like, well, they're not doing so hot. Why are they keeping him? He must be the owner. I just, in my mind, I just thought it, and I was like, no way. But obviously not. I did learn it a while back that it was Joe Lewis, but he's so like not forward facing that I just you just kind of forget about him.